You studied electrical engineering. What made you join Johnson's Controls in the first place?
Well, I actually came to Johnson Control from a independent distributor. So I was selling train product for 11 years with an independent distributor before going to York Johnson Controls. And the reason I started out of college and went into HVAC sales was I enjoyed the technology, but I really wanted a technical sales position. So I observed what was available and where I was living and found a technical sales role that was in selling heating and air conditioning equipment. And I thought, well, my background will help that. Electrical engineering doesn't hurt any. And jumped in, and now I've got 29 years selling heating and air conditioning. So kind of worked out okay, I guess.
Do you feel like your electrical engineering education helped you in your sales capacity?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's important for young engineering students and people with math and science skills coming out of high school to think about it, because I know my vision of what engineering was when I was in high school was very different than all the things I saw when I got into school. The one thing I will say about the electrical engineering background for me is it allowed me, to understand the basic technology, but it taught me the process to challenge technology, to challenge new ideas, challenge new ways of doing things in a methodical way. So from a sales perspective, that changes how I present information to contractors, to building owners, to distributors, to engineers. So knowing how we manage from an engineering mindset, it allows me to much more effectively explain things and paint a much better picture of how this technology works.
So when they come out with, you've been in this for 29 years, when they come out with these technological leaps, I'm sure you're able to dig in a little deeper than somebody who just has a sales or marketing only background.
Yeah, and the engineering background teaches you to ask questions and challenge. And any new technology, and if you look back over the last 29 years, a lot of our leaps have been driven by efficiency standards from the government. And those efficiency standards didn't always necessarily mean that we had the engineering capability to make those leaps. And there are a whole trail of broken down equipment based on engineering leaps we weren't quite ready for. So it's a pretty important skill to have, to just be able to ask the right questions and understand what those critical points are in a piece of equipment. Where is this going to fail 5 years from now? And help the engineering team ask better questions.
Johnson Controls is very large over here in the United States, and VRF certainly hasn't taken off until recently. What did you see when you transitioned over into that department that made you leave what you were already working in to jump over to VRF?
That's a great question, Taurus, and it was simple. Some industry relationships. I had been working with several people in the industry in years past, and the new chief operating officer was a good friend and somebody who I had worked with early at my time at York, and he needed somebody to take over sales in this organization, and it sounded like a great opportunity, and so it was loyal to an old friend that caused that change, but very glad I made the shift.
And obviously that led to the opportunity to jump over to Fujitsu.
That's correct, yes.
I know Fujitsu is a large company, but I'm not sure if they're as large in the United States as Johnson Controls. Was it weird moving over from an established company to somebody that's trying to get a bigger piece of the market?
Well, it's really about perspective in this particular case. The team here at Fujitsu does about $250 million in Japanese technology in the United States between VRF and ductless technology, or the residential mini splits. So they have a much broader and wider presence in this particular technology than JCI does. So JCI is just really getting a start in this technology and does a very small fraction of the amount of volume. So it was a significant move for this technology, but as you say, JCI is a significantly larger player in the overall HVAC market.
Yeah, I think I was reading that in Japan, like VRF is like 90% of the market.
Yeah, there's like all statistics, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what the real truth is. But in Asia and in Europe, it is certainly the majority of HVAC. And it really comes down to those countries have learned to live, to heat and cool the spaces they're living in, not in the spaces that they own. So in this country, if we own a 2,000 square foot home, we're heating and cooling the whole thing. Whereas in that country, they're only heating and cooling the space they occupy at the time, which is a lesson we're slowly learning in this country.
So in these other countries, assuming that there's just less square footage per person, so they have to be more judicious in how they make their energy decisions.
Well, there were two major drivers in Asia and specifically in Japan. To start with, they live at much smaller square footage to begin with. Their human density due to the population and just small livable space on an island like Japan causes them to live very close together. When you do that, you have a small square footage that needs to be cooled, and it makes more sense to use a mini-split-like technology where you're cooling one space as opposed to a ducted technology in this country where we're heating and cooling the whole area. In addition, the electric rates are significantly more in China and Japan as a percentage of the average income. So whereas we could afford pretty inexpensively to heat and cool the whole house, whether we were in it or not, in Japan and China, they were certainly much more conscious of what they were spending on electric. They do things like occupancy sensors where you walk into a room and that's when the heating air conditioning turns on, not all the time.
So is that something that is taken off more with the mobile technology where it can actually sense when a person is coming into a room, or did they have it before that with some type of motion sensing?
Most of the systems use motion sensors and have for several years. There's just now some budding technology that's tying to cell phones, and most is from a control standpoint, but occupancy recognition is certainly coming into play as well.
I'm thinking just because of the increased costs in energy in places like Japan and China, I'm pretty sure the energy efficiency requirements are probably a little higher than they are here. So
one would think so, but they really aren't.
No?
The governments haven't been near as challenged in countries they are here. The consumers certainly push the manufacturers, but the government involvement has not been as great. Mm-hmm. And the main reason for that is heating, air conditioning, especially the air conditioning side, has not been as common in any other country as it is in the United States. So we were the first one to leap into that technology. That became a standard offering in this country, whereas in other countries it still is very much in a air conditioning. Mm-hmm. Many countries across the
So with the VRF systems, I know they've been around since the 80s at least.
Yeah, they're about 30 years old now.
So were they primarily for heating purposes in a lot of these places?
No, they were really designed initially as heat pumps. Mm-hmm. That's how they got their start. So they certainly could heat. But then it was 10 years later that they added the heat recovery technology. And essentially what heat recovery technology is the ability to take one outdoor condenser and connect it to, let's say, 10 indoor air handlers. And 3 of those air handlers can be heating, and 7 of them can be cooling. And they're actually taking the heat out and moving it through refrigeration to the other room. So you're actually just moving BTUs around to the thing as opposed to having the compressor do all the work in both cases. So simultaneous heating and cooling gives you a lot more efficiency. It also gives you some really nice creature comfort inside the building.
Mm-hmm. Are you just selling the products themselves, or are you at all connected with the installation, maintenance, repair of the equipment?
Well, we're tangentially connected to the service and install teams because we need to do all the training all the way through the channel. So Fairfield that designs all the training and then goes out and executes that training, including train the trainers down through the channel. So we're training distributors, we're training contractors, we're training install and service technicians to work with this product. And then on the backside, we also support through our sales engineers going out and doing supporting the commissioning on startup. So we're very active, but we don't actually get our hands on the tools and do the install and the service.
How long is the training process for the contractors or installers you work with?
Another good question. It is basically the install training is a 2-day, and then we have an additional course for the advanced service technicians that want to take more, and those are available both on 2-day courses depending on the topic and the depth of need for that particular service person.
Now, is this something that somebody can take on an individual level, or does this have to be with some type of service company?
As a rule, the way it happens is people are doing it through service companies. So we're partnering with contractors who are selling the product, and then we bring their installing teams in. So as a rule, we don't have people come in independently, but we certainly would entertain that and talk to anyone who reached out and wants to chat with us about that option.
The HVAC industry is about to explode for a number of different reasons. R22 is being phased out. So pretty much, 80% of the systems that are in use are going to have to be replaced within the next 10 years. And, just for energy efficiency purposes, they're probably going to be replaced with some type of a mini split or VRF system. So, we need to start educating people about the newer developments so that they can be prepared for when it happens.
Yeah, nowhere is that more true than in the 5 boroughs. Because in New York, the mayor's office is getting very aggressive with some pretty aggressive standards on how we're going to reduce energy usage and, more importantly, how we're going to reduce our carbon footprint. And VRF is a great solution for that. So all those big boilers, all those combustion-based systems are going to need to go away if we're going to hit carbon numbers. And VRF offers a way to heat and cool comfortably while you're still taking that combustion out of the mix. So I agree. It could become a very busy time, and it'll be a very good industry to be in.
They're looking for like a 30% energy reduction across all buildings in NYC?
Yeah, there's several different plans being thrown around, but yeah, that's one of 30 so 30% reduction by 2030, which is just unbelievable dramatic, and it's the type of things we love to hear. It moves a lot more equipment, but it still puts a lot of stress on the industry.
We got to do a better job in getting people, up to snuff to fill these jobs, but at the same time, that means there are more jobs.
Yeah, and it certainly the first and most important step is what you're doing, and that is getting people interested and excited about being in this industry. Because we can have the best training in the world, but if nobody's sitting in the chairs, it really doesn't make any difference. So we've got a lot of work to keep people motivated and excited about great opportunities coming in the industry, and get them in the seats, get them trained, and be ready for what's coming.
So you have the training at your facility in New Jersey?
Yeah, we have several training facilities across the country, but our biggest is here in Fairfield, New Jersey. We also do some training. We actually have a showroom in Times Square in New York City, so we do some training up there as well.
Can we talk a little bit about the inverter technology? Because this is something I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of, but this is one of the things that gives us increased efficiency with the operation of the VRF system, right?
Yeah, it really is important in twofold, and we can start the conversation in just a basic mini split. And unlike most home systems today in this country, the ducted systems, the inverter technology allows that unit on the wall and outside to adapt based on the load in the house. So the best explanation is, imagine what your car ride would be like if you could only go 60 miles an hour or 0. That's what most systems do today in HVAC. They're either 100% on or they're off. Whereas inverter technology takes into account how much demand there is. In other words, how much separation there is between the temperature you want it to be and the temperature it is. And then it decides how much to turn that compressor up. So just like a dimmer switch on a house, it can come up a little bit, or it can turn that light on full blast, and your air conditioning can come on and try to cool off that space really fast. So to be able to adapt and use those lower speeds, most of the time you're using significantly less energy, not to mention the fact that you make the house a lot more comfortable.
I've seen some other technology. I'm not sure if it's exactly the same with Fujitsu, where there's a port that you can connect a laptop or a tablet to, and it can download all the faults within the system.
Yeah, there's a couple ways we do that. With the VRF systems, we absolutely connect through laptop. We also have a way to do that wirelessly. With the ductless systems, the traditional mini splits, we can even do that with something as simple as an iPhone. So the technician can come out and through his iPhone be getting all the information on the fault codes and what happened with that piece of equipment.
You're primarily dealing with the residential and not so much the commercial?
No, we do both. We do the commercial all the way up through big skyscrapers in New York, all the way down through an individual condo or individual home. So we can use the VRF technology and the single head technology for a lot of different applications. They end up in a lot of different ways.
So you're seeing more and more condo and co-op owners.
Yeah, we have some pretty exciting new technology that we're seeing show up in a lot of retrofits in New York, where we're taking out window units and PTACs both, and we're putting in our VRF single-phase product, which is a single outdoor unit that will handle up to 9 indoor units.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take even a large condo and have very individualized zone comfort cooling that's significantly better than what they've had in the past.
Have you seen anybody like jointly, let's say a couple of neighbors, say they want to get an outdoor unit and connect coils in their
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that all the time, and generally what we'll do is we'll do a whole building and we'll put several units on the roof and attach those, and say one unit will do an entire floor of 4 or 6 apartments, and then we have software that will actually divide up the bill. So we can.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a good way to manage that. It's also incredibly efficient.
Yeah, no, that just makes so much sense.
It's a technology that's very cost effective, and we see a ton of them in hotels and different places, but we have a better solution and now a lot more cost effective solution. So we're seeing a lot more of it every day.
I've been hearing about hotels, the hotels turning to heat pumps for years, and it was always the viewpoint that the East Coast, the winters were a little too mild to make it cost effective. So I'm assuming, now with the inverter technology, you're able to pull out a little more efficiency with that.
Yeah, and we're now with our technology, we're able to heat comfortably down to negative temperatures. So we're seeing a lot more often as we go further north that the VRF and the ductless technology is becoming more prevalent because we can keep people comfortable without a secondary heat source.
How big is your team that you're managing?
Right now, we're just shy of 50 people.
50 people?
So, yeah, and that's our own employees, and then we work with an extended sales force through our distributors and reps and contractors that's a force of hundreds and thousands. So lots of people out there helping us sell the product.
So if somebody wanted to purchase this, let's say if they were a condo or a co-op owner, would they go directly to you? Would they go through your distributor?
The best way is to go to your local contractor or distributor. Mm-hmm. And another option is just go to ConstantComfort.com. That's our website, and it's just all one word, Constant Comfort. And you can find a contractor locator there to find somebody who knows our product, and they can help you make a good choice on what fits best in your home or your building.
So I went to the Constant Comfort website. It took me to the Fujitsu General. There's a side for residential and a side for commercial. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Give you a chance to look a little bit at the product as well and find that contractor for you.
Now, with this, it says contractor login. So when the contractors, they have a portal login on the site, what do the contractors see?
There's several different things they can do. They can get to a lot more technical data. They can get to the warranty center, so they're managing the warranty information for the equipment. They can get training schedules, things like that. So there's several different pieces they can get to.
I see that you also work with architects and engineers. Now, at what point in the design phase do you recommend that they figure out the whole HVAC system?
Well, it should start very early. With VRF technology, compared to ductwork, we save a whole lot of room in the space, so you don't need ductwork running to every floor, which really reduces the height you need on each floor, because you don't have all that ductwork. You just have a few pipes running room to room. So there have been cases where we've actually reduced the height of the building enough that we can add an extra floor for the same building.
Oh, wow.
So the sooner you get into that conversation, the better. And the good engineers and architects are thinking about the best heating and cooling system when they're really just scratching out the initial sketches.
Okay, one last question. Are you hiring?
Yeah, we're always hiring, always looking for young, talented people, and all talented people for that matter. So if people are interested, they can reach out to us on the same website. Go to Constant Comfort and they contact us, and just reach out there, and we'll be happy to share with you what we have available at that time, and certainly get your resume on file.